Here's my honest take on the teamLab experience. As someone who's deep into design experiences, I was excited to finally get to go through a teamLab experience. And while it was good, I actually left wanting more than what it offered. So let me walk you through 4 things I loved about the experience and 4 things I'd love to change. 1, the darkness. I learned a simple fact thanks to the masterclass I did with Punch Drunk, is that darkness isn't a design tool, it's a design multiplier. And when you strip away light, you ultimately allows the space to come alive. Time stretches and slows down and details sharpen. And teamLab used this beautifully. It made the whole space kind of come to life. The second thing I loved was the awe opening. You walk into it and boom, you're hit with this massive expansive space, high ceilings, and you feel small in the best possible way. And that is a great example of the cathedral effect. While it gives you this maximum shift in perception and like, wow, you feel small, that kind of flatlined throughout the experience, which we'll get to later on. The third thing I loved was the water. This was new. Walking barefoot through an experience instantly connected me to the environment. It made things be more physical and more memorable. And more places should design for that whole body experience and not just for the eyes. This was something pretty special and actually pretty unique. The third thing I loved was the light. You see, one room in particular nailed this. It was an illusion built from mirrors and red lights, and it was playful and mood shifting. And it was great to see light be the main character of the show rather than it being used to just light a space. But then that leads me on to the 4 things I would love to change about the teamLab experience. So number 1 was immersion breakers. You see, if you're going to use darkness, then you need to be surgical with it, because if you're not, things will stand out. And there was a few times where this happened. There was a time where the white fire alarm was just beaming whiteness in a dark room. And there was a moment in the water room where there was just a guy squeegeeing the water away. And it was these little micro moments that kind of took me out of the spell. The second thing I'd love to change is the spatial opportunities. You see, we got teased with the cathedral effect right at the start, and then nothing really happened. I wanted level changes, I wanted different perceptions, and none of that existed. And I guess, as children, we like to make dens and forts, and that instinct doesn't go away as a child. We want that nostalgic feeling. And they completely missed that here. And places like Disney understand that. That's why they design their theme parks in 2 levels, from an adult's point of view and from a child's point of view. And I just think that was a real missed opportunity here. The third thing I'd love to change is a water flow, like literally. Yes, I loved the water, but the flow of it just wasn't right. I had to pause, take my shoes off, and that microsecond of doing that kind of got me thinking, is this water clean? How many people have been in that water? So I wondered if there was an opportunity where actually you take your shoes off at the start of the experience and then you gradually get guided into it. There was also a room which was like massive and it had just like 4 inches of water in and some average lighting. It was just an untapped potential. The next thing I'd love to change is the sensory depth. There was a story right at the very start, but then it kind of vanished and there was no thread to follow. There was no reason to actually go and explore, and instead it became this like tick box exercise. Meow Wolf get this really well. They have this repeat subscription where you go and the story can be different. There was also no manipulation of our senses and our temperature, and it kind of limited the interaction. There was a room where it was all silver balloons, and as soon as you got really close to it, a security guard stepped in and stopped you getting too close. And that situation of being half guided experience, half discovery experience kind of puts you in the middle and it makes things uncomfortable. So for me, you either one or the other. So my final thoughts, go experience it seriously. If you're not obsessed about experience design, then you will absolutely love this. And this breakdown is basically just a few tweaks where I think could be made better. I think it's a thing, these little tweaks will take it from a great experience to one that is truly phenomenal.